February 9th, 2019. Put the date in there for context so that you people don't sit there and if something changes later on, you don't sit there and say, well, that's already been done. Yes, well, that was done later. This is the day that I thought of this. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Now, have I researched a lot of the XFL? No, not yet, because they don't start for another year. But Vince McMahon should take graduated high school players. Bam. Let that sink in. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying. They can't play football. They're just kids. They can't play with men. How many great football players are going to be in the XFL? The XFL has to find a way to differentiate itself from the AAF, who's going to have a 1 year head start. So either you have to throw more money at mediocre players to get them into your league, or you have to try failed NFLers that have some name recognition and then pay them a lot of money to be in your league, which I wouldn't do. But if you really want it, if you really want people to watch your product, maybe you do go after that guy who played in the NFL for 5 or 6 years, had a couple years of success, and then you have name recognition. But if Vince McMahon wants to separate himself and he wants to separate the XFL, why not take kids out of high school? Now, I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. I know that you're going, you can't do it. They have to go to college. Why? Most of these kids don't take it seriously. They're going in there just so that they're going in there on football scholarships. They want to play football. But if the XFL says, why don't you come over here and play for us? You're 19 years old, you're 18 years old, you graduated high school. Why not come play for us? Come play pro football and get paid. Now, if you're great, you could go into the NFL later on. But then the XFL could build some of this young talent. The XFL could be a place that we go where we see some of the top young college prospects playing pro football. Or semi-pro football, however you want to call it. They get paid, technically they're pros. So why not take the high school kids? Those kids that would have gone to Alabama, or they would have gone to, Clemson, Florida, Ohio State, Michigan, wherever. No. Instead, you tell these kids, no, I'm going to pay you out of high school to play football. I'm not going to require that you go to a college. I'm going to say, come play for me right now. Now, most of the people that are going to be playing in the XFL are probably going to be 25 years and under. And let's face it, the guys that are going to be playing in the XFL are not going to be NFLers. It's not like you're worried about Khalil Mack is going to hit your 18-year-old son. You're going to worry that some guy that's half the size of Khalil Mack may hit your kid. Well, that guy was hitting your kid in high school, and he'll hit your kid in college. Why not have your kid get paid for it? If you're 18, 19 years old and you graduated high school, why not just go and get paid? So Vince McMahon doesn't have any, and it's like he doesn't have any loyalty to the NCAA. Why does he care what the NCAA thinks? Vince McMahon is the kind of guy that would do this. He would sit there and tell those kids, come play for me and I'll pay you. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to let colleges use your likeness. We'll pay you. It's like if your jerseys have good sales, we'll give you part of your jersey sales. It's what he does with the wrestlers. If the wrestlers' merchandise sells, they get a portion of the money. He would probably do the same thing in the XFL, where a portion of the money would go to the players. So if you get a really good college prospect, but instead of going to college, he decides he's going to play football in the XFL, you can develop this kid. Now, you're not necessarily developing him for the NFL. That's not what you're saying. But you might get a rock star. You might get some superstars right out of the gate. You may get some young studs that come into your league, whereas the AAF, I don't think, is allowing. You have to have college experience, I think, to play in the AAF. Because they want to be a complementary league to the NFL. They don't want to compete with it, and they don't want to mess with it. They want to be friends. I don't think the XFL is looking to be friends with the NFL. So the XFL, Vince McMahon could put high school players in there. He could draft them. He could draft them out of high school. They could come play for his league. The only thing that I would require is you have to be a high school graduate. You have to at least be 18 years of age. And at 18 years of age, you are considered an adult under the laws of the United States of America. And if you want to play football professionally and get paid for it, you should be allowed to. I've said that the colleges should pay these kids. And since they're not going to, why not have the XFL do it? You could end up with a ton of blue chip prospects playing in the XFL, and you might see some of the best college players in the land playing professional football against each other. And you'll have them all balled up. Just a lot of really, some of the best football could be in that XFL if you let a lot of top prospect young kids play there. And let's face it, if you end up with a ton of great young prospects playing in the NFL or the XFL, then you don't have to worry about having guys that are considered men because they're 25 years old or 28 years old. Because remember, the 28-year-old linebacker that's playing in the XFL is not going to hit you as hard as the 28-year-old linebacker in the NFL. And he's probably barely going to hit you as hard as the 20-year-old linebacker that's playing college football. But now you pull all those guys together, all those young prospects. You may end up with a very exciting league full of great young players. And if the NFL makes some rule that says, well, if you played in the XFL, you can't play for the NFL. Bull crap. Because if you're a great player in the XFL, I guarantee you the NFL owners would be telling the NFL, you better let me have this kid because I'm gonna find a way to get him in here somehow. It's like, or we'll kick the commissioner out, we'll kick everybody out. He's already playing, he's not going to college, and he's a great player over in the XFL. We want him in the NFL where we can pay him millions of dollars. Why not? And who knows, if Vince plays his cards right and there's enough great young talent that are playing in that league, maybe they do compete with the NFL on some level. Weirder things have happened. This is something that I just thought of just like minutes before I decided to film this video, and I think it's a great idea. So don't put down in the comments what you think, because I don't care. I love this idea. This idea is brilliant. If you have a bunch of young kids facing each other in college, let them face each other, getting paid to face each other. I've done a video where I said colleges should pay these kids. Why not have the XFL pay these kids? They don't have to pretend like they want to go to school. They don't have to pretend like they have to go to classes. They can just go and play football. I would even encourage the AAF to do this. Because remember, if you have a bunch of young players, that are playing against each other, it's technically like playing college football, but you're getting paid to do it. So if you're thinking that it's a bad idea, you're wrong. I'm right on this one. The college kids get paid, they get to play professional football, and if they're really, 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 really good, they'll end up in the NFL. And if not, they might get to play a few years playing minor league football and get paid to do that. And they get to be paid to do what they love to do, which is play football. Isn't that what we all want to do? Get paid to do what we love to do? Let these kids just get paid right from the start. The XFL should do this. The AAF should do this. And then it's like the NFL should just basically say, well, they're all basically playing together anyway. It's all a bunch of college age kids playing football. So it would be like if they were all in college, but they're getting paid. And I believe that that's the best for those kids. You don't want to go to school and you want to play football out of the box. Vince, listen to me. I've got a whopping 49 subscribers, so I'm one of YouTube's bottom 100. So listen to me. I know what I'm talking about, Vince. Go get them high school kids, put them against each other in your league, develop some great young players, and then boom, you may have your one marketing thing that you need to get ahead of the AAF. Because you're a year behind, you're going to need something. So why not let these great young football players that are kids get paid? Remember, I still require that they be adults. They have to be of legal age, and I would like to see that they at least have a high school diploma or the equivalency of it, which is a general education diploma, a GED, basically. But other than that, sky's the limit. These kids could come out of school, start making money right away. Some of them need to make money right away so that they can maybe help their families. Others might just say, I hate school. I just want to play football. This would be their chance. It's a brilliant idea, and I love it.